What's going on YouTube? So a couple months ago, we took a look at the updated 2021 Ford Edge, which throws in some big enhancements to the interior and particularly the technology. However, what I'm standing next to today is a vehicle that builds off of that. This is the Edge ST, which packages all that same stuff, but throws in a whole lot more power. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into the review and see if this is the ultimate Edge you should buy. So you're gonna know that this is the special version of the Edge right as soon as you walk up to it because of course you have a sportier design. So what they do is basically take the grille shape and they're gonna substitute in this honeycomb black finished grille here with of course your ST branding. This looks a lot more aggressive and I think it really matches nicely with this carbonized gray paint color. You also have a more aggressive lower fascia as well and a little bit of this extra cladding down here at the bottom just to give it a more tight look to the design. Now coming up here to your headlights, you're going to have standard LED headlights. That is your low and high beam as well as your daytime running light, however not the turn signal indicator. And then that daytime running light is going to carry on down to this section and run into your LED fog lamp. Now continuing the sporty design, we come to our 20-inch contrast alloy wheels. These have a real nice look to them. You do have an available 21-inch gloss black alloy if you prefer that. And we also have the standard braking system, but you can get Ford's performance brakes if you want to, just up the ante on the performance of this ST. And then jumping up here to your mirrors, they are going to be heated, have blind spot monitoring, and your turn signal indicator.
So here at the side of the Edge ST, you will notice a few things. To give it that nice sporty look, we do have blacked out window surrounds. And then making our way around to the rear design of the Edge. Now, this has been slightly updated for the 2021 model year, and those updates are going to continue to this ST model, and it's not overly different from the regular Edge. So up here in this area, we have this piece that's fully blacked out with our Edge branding. Then that intersects into our taillights, which are going to be full LED taillights. The turn signal, brake light, and reverse light are all LED. I actually like the way this looks. It looks really quite cool. We have our big ST branding, and then down here at the bottom is where you're going to really tell that this is an ST model because we have a unique diffuser area, and we're also going to have these really, really large, almost vertical exhaust pipes that pump out that V6 engine note that you're going to get with the ST. Now with the 21 Edge, they have went ahead and made 3 out of 4 of your safety system standard equipment. So that's going to be your Ford emergency braking and pedestrian detection, auto high beams, and lane keeping assist. And they do offer the Co-Pilot 360 Plus package, which will go ahead and throw in the adaptive cruise control. But that's all for the exterior design of this Edge ST. As you can tell, it has a very aggressive and cool look to it. Now let's go ahead and check out the inside before we take it out in a spin. Before we do all of that, it'd really make my day if you hit that subscribe button down below. Tons of automotive content you won't want to miss out on.
So walking up to the Edge ST, of course you do have Ford's smart entry system. And you'll notice we have the special ST branded key fob. Remote start would be available as an option. Of course, just grab behind the handle and to unlock the door. Okay, now taking a look here at the cabin, you will be greeted with a Ford Performance splash screen on that brand new display, which we'll talk about in just a second. But as far as the main part of the cabin, it's not really changed too much this year. With the ST, you got a few special touches, including the seats that you see here on this example. So what you get is a leather trimmed seat with the color contrast stitching, Alcantara insert right through the middle here. The bolsters are a bit bigger, and you do have the ST embroidering right up there. Now turning over here to your door trim, that's going to be nicely finished in a leather material all across the armrest as well as above it with the stitching detail, which I like. Across the top, it is padded. We do have an aluminum door handle and 3-person memory seating. As far as our windows, they're going to be one-touch auto up and down for the driver and the passenger. Also notice you have aluminum pedals. You also have special carpeting down here that looks pretty nice, and you got 4 performance scuff plates. And then as far as the seats themselves, they're going to be 10-way power adjusting with 2-way lumbar support. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but black is the only color option. So as far as the materials are concerned, they're not radically different from the normal model with the ST. So across the upper dash, this will continue to be finished in a soft touch plastic. As we move down to the middle, we have a faux aluminum trim, more soft touch along here. We have more of that aluminum trim that runs through the center area. It is going to be hard touch on the side, but everything does feel pretty solid. And to start it up, put your foot on the brake and press the standard button. So let's take a look at this gauge cluster. This is the dual 4.2-inch multi-function display gauge setup. So of course you have 2 different displays. This one over here has the tachometer. You can use the steering wheel controls to switch between different kinds of information, and you can do the same on this side with the separate pad that you have there. Now I do want to mention something about this before I go any further. Due to part shortages, the ST model right now is really, most of the ones coming out are just made without any options. That's what this one is. So this is actually like stock ST, no additional options whatsoever. So that's really what I'm going to focus on today, since that's what most of them are going to be equipped like these days. But moving on, as far as the steering wheel, as you can see, it does have a specific and very nice looking ST steering wheel with the branding, the cross stitching, and the perforated leather here on the side. As far as the wheel itself, it is going to be manual tilt and telescoping. Now let's go ahead and take a look at interior storage. So we'll open up our center console here. We do have a little tray up here at the top. It does have a felt lining in it, and you can remove that. And when you do, you have a really nicely sized storage bin. Like, wow, this goes down really far, almost too far for me to even reach. So when we get our coupons out, you're going to see that these are going to be completely absorbed. Look how deep that is. That's crazy. It's like a black hole or something. Now up in front of that, we've got a little slot we can stick a phone, 2 cup holders, another little spot you might stick a phone or the key fob, and then up here in the front, we have another surprisingly deep well where you can stick different things. It does have a rubber lining as well as 2 USB ports. You also notice that we have a center pass-through back here where you can hide some stuff. Now let's take a look at the shifter. This is for its typical rotary shifter, so you're just gonna turn to D for drive. You can press the S in the middle for sport mode, and you can shift manually with the paddles on the steering wheel. Twisting into reverse is going to reveal to you the backup camera. As you can see, the camera does occupy this top part of the display, and then you have parking sensors for the bottom part of the display. We do have active trajectory as well, and in normal times you would be able to option on a 180-degree front camera in addition to this rear camera as well. Then of course P for park, and your electronic parking brake is right behind that. We also have a button here to defeat our auto start stop system if that's something you want to do. And before we get up to that main display, let's go next to the audio controls, because we do keep traditional controls down here at the bottom for stuff related to the audio system. So as you would expect, the ST does come standard with the upgraded 12-speaker Bang & Olufsen premium sound system, and we'll go ahead and give that a sample right now. Wow, yeah, this is probably messing with the camera's microphone, to be honest, because the bass in here is so heavy. It's a very impressive sound system, just like the Bang & Olufsen sound systems in the other Ford products. Alright, so now we are here at this display. So of course this is the big change for 2021, and that's that you now have a 12-inch display, which is now standard on all the edges, and of course it pretty much occupies this whole center dash area and contains a lot of things that have to do with the interior. One of those things is the dual zone automatic climate control setup. So that's going to be down here in this lower part of the system. You adjust your temperature with these little toggles here. You can also swipe like that if you prefer. Here are your zones. You'll notice the little seat control. This is going to be for the 3-stage seat heating, which is included standard on the ST model. Now, as far as the main system itself, this is running Ford's brand new Sync 4A system. And from playing around with it, this has a lot of the same features that you get in like the advanced new models like the Mach-E. So you can have drop-down menus, stuff like that. We are right now in wireless Android Auto. You also have wireless Apple CarPlay, of course, and this runs very smoothly. You also have the tabbed interface, so you can quickly switch between like different sections, and as you can see, it kind of drops down there with really nice and smooth animations. So this is a very impressive system overall. Now as we move on up here, we do have an auto dimming mirror. And then up here at the very top, you'll notice that this particular model doesn't have a moonroof. Like I mentioned, outside of the part shortages, you can usually get a panoramic sunroof as an option.
Alrighty, so here I am in the Edge ST's rear seat. First impression is certainly a good one because it has a lot of space back here. Let's discuss that first. We have 40 inches of both leg and headroom, which has placed it at the top end of the segment. That's above something like a Hyundai Santa Fe or Nissan Murano, so you're certainly going to benefit from the space back here. Behind the seating position, I have 5 or so inches of legroom. My feet can slide up underneath the seat, so A+ for me. Now, as far as the features are concerned, we have vents here in the center. That's going to be standard equipment. And then if we drop down, we have a little storage cubby. We have a USB Type-C and a smart charging USB port. Heated rear seats are available on the ST. Maybe not at this current time where the options are limited, but you can get them normally. And then as far as the center armrest, it does have cup holders inside. Now walking up to the tailgate, it is going to be hands-free on the titanium model. On this ST, it is power though, so if you just push the button, it will open up. And as far as the space is back here, we have 39 cubic feet of space behind the second row seats. That expands all the way up to 73 cubic feet if you fold them down. That's once again a large amount of space. The vast majority of the entire segment. So this is a very large vehicle for the segment. Just keep that in mind. Now, as far as the finishings, we have a really nice carpeting along the floor. I'm pleasantly surprised by how nice this is. We have LED lighting on the side. On the left side, we have a 12-volt outlet, and we also have our buttons to fold the seats, which do fold 60-40 split. And if we lift up the floor, there is a spare tire. Now over here at the passenger seat, we do still have quite a few different ways of power adjustment. Then I do also want to point out we have a 12-volt outlet down here. If we open up the glove box, this is decently sized. I wish it was a little bit deeper, but you know, it's overall a pretty good size. And of course, there's plenty of room in the cargo area or in the second row if you can't fit it in here. And then up top, we have a sun visor with lighting as well as a mirror, and it does detach and extend.
Going up to about 60 miles per hour with this Edge ST. So of course, in Ford speak, ST means performance, and that's what this one has as compared to the normal one.
Yeah.
So what we have on board is a 2.7 liter V6 engine, making 335 horsepower, 380 pound-feet of torque. Of course, that is a pretty nice improvement over the standard engine.
That's 250, so you're looking at 85 horsepower difference for this ST, and it definitely feels pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Also, it makes an interesting sound.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some, amplification of sound and stuff, but this does not sound like what I thought it was going to sound like.
No.
So let's talk about the transmission as well. What we have on board with this is actually a 7-speed automatic transmission instead of the 8-speed that's in the regular version. As far as shifting is concerned, it does a pretty good job. It's not like lightning fast, like a dual clutch or anything like that, but I'm assuming that they chose this transmission for having sportier characteristics than the regular 8-speed automatic.
And you are also going to have standard all-wheel drive with the ST model, which does mean that you only have one fuel economy figure, and that's going to be 19, 25, 21 combined for the ST.
Now, obviously, we're not exactly out on a country road or racetrack or anything, but I do want to talk about just some general performance things, because ultimately this is the type of vehicle that's going to integrate into your everyday life. It's not a hardcore performance vehicle at all. Behind the wheel with this Edge ST, it feels a little bit sportier than the normal model, but it's not overwhelmingly sporty. You certainly keep all of those nice characteristics from the regular model in terms of like comfort, and this is definitely very everyday livable. The steering is definitely firmed up a little bit, but still light enough that it's not going to be uncomfortable. And as far as like your ride quality, it does a really good job of just dampening out all the bumps and stuff like that. You also have like an auto start stop system that's extremely smooth and blends right into the background. They've done a really excellent job with that. So really it's still very comfort oriented and still kind of classic Edge, but this one has a sportier edge to it.
Yeah. And I guess we can go ahead and talk about our airball and slam dunk for the Edge ST. So for our slam dunk, we're going to say the exterior design. This is a really good looking vehicle still, despite its age. It really has aged very, very well on the outside, especially in the ST. It looks quite sporty and cool. Now, as far as our airball is concerned, that kind of goes hand in hand with this. As I mentioned earlier, it is getting a little bit older, and this cabin, even despite the refresh that they did to add this display and all that, it still is a little bit dated in terms of the design. Some of the materials used are a little bit on the cheap side, so that's just something that you're going to be looking at with an older model. Alright, so let's go ahead and discuss the pricing. So the ST is going to be sitting atop the Edge lineup because it does have a lot of luxury and features, as well as the engine. So it's going to start at $43,600, and it does also have standard all-wheel drive. And as far as how this one is equipped with the destination charge-in, we are coming in a little bit over $43,000.
Right, and this one here basically is stock ST. It doesn't have any of the additional options available. So we were getting ready to take our sound level reading, but as you can see, we've now come onto a graded road. Wasn't expecting this, but this here has at least as much sound deadening as what the regular model had, and that was a very quiet vehicle on all different types of speeds. Hold up. We can do it. Let's take it back.
$54.9. So just like what we said.
Very nice reading. Yeah, so with that, we're just going to go ahead and conclude this video. With this Edge ST, this really does have, like I said, all the things that you like about the Edge. the comfort, the everyday livability, all the space. You got the new technology for 2021. But this ST model really gives you a lot more power and gives you just a little touch of sport. It's not a hardcore sports SUV or anything like that, but you do just get that little touch of sport that's going to make this just a bit more enjoyable for you to have on your everyday life.
Well guys, that's all for this in-depth review of the 2021 Ford Edge ST. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful, be sure to help us out by hitting that subscribe button down below. It's completely free on your part, and all it's going to do is give you notifications on our most recent content, our YouTube shorts, all types of automotive stuff. So if you're into cars, please hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.